Hello, welcome to Bowtie Life, where we talk mostly about life in the garden. I'm Bowtie David, Zone 9B in the Panhandle of Florida. Today we have a little interjection video. I don't know if this is going to come before or after the raised garden bed tour. As of right now, it is whatever date this is. I do not know. 16, 17, I think it's the 18th. 18th, yeah. April 18th, and I wanted to do something here real quick. We looked in a previous video for something else at the air potatoes, and I wanted to show you a little bit of difference between air potatoes and edible potatoes, regular potatoes, just to kind of give you an idea of how they develop. So that's what we're going to be talking about. If the Part 3 Raised Garden Bed Tour has not come out yet, when this comes out, it will be coming out next. So be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube if you have not already, so you don't miss a thing. Videos come out on YouTube first, sometimes only as little as a few days and sometimes up to a month earlier. For those of you who have subscribed to Bowtie Life, I thank you. You are my heroes. You've helped make Bowtie Life what it is today. Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave. So I spent a few minutes before recording this doing some close-up of the things we're going to be looking at here, and I'm going to try to talk through them all and try to get it all in one little snippet here. It's not going to be a very long video. I just wanted to show you the difference in development. Now, first off, the potatoes we eat, these are good potatoes. Now, if they get in the sun and turn green, they turn a little toxic, give you an upset stomach, make you sick. They're not good. But I wanted to show you just now these potatoes are small potatoes that I literally put up on the shelf back in, I want to say November. And this is April, so several months ago. These things have been sitting up there. In fact, there was a third one, but its chips were sacrificed for the April Fool's video, if you didn't see that. However, I just thought it was really, I just did this just so I could see how it developed. I mean, it looks like a little monster, doesn't it? It looks like something related to a crab almost. I don't know. But they're pretty fascinating. I just wanted to see what they did. And they've got little green things growing out and the vines are purple, but it really never had a chance to develop because no soil. They were literally just sitting on a shelf. And I'm going to put them back up there just to see what they do. They're very soft. You can see they're very shrivelly. Hey, that's kind of cool. There's actually another little eye developing right there. You can't even see it on the camera, I have no doubt. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Now, these are potatoes you could have eaten, and you could grow more potatoes. These are our Yukon Gold, and those are good potatoes. What we're talking about here is air potato. And if you have air potatoes, you need to get rid of them. Number one, they are toxic. Now, that being said, there is a way to process these things from my research, though I have never done it. There is a way to process these things into a cancer-fighting agent, and I don't know anything about that. I'm not a doctor, I'm a handyman. I do not know anything about that, so do some research if you're interested. I don't recommend it because I've heard a lot more about how toxic they are. Now, these air potatoes, and you can see in this little video, there's a whole line of them here set up that kind of shows what they develop like. And these air potatoes have been sitting in a Ziploc bag for a number of months. I think I might have harvested them in November, October, somewhere in there. I harvested them from my neighbor's compost pile with permission and put them in this Ziploc bag just to kind of see what they would do. So I was very curious. I've been fighting these things in my yard, and I haven't completely eradicated them, but I'm coming close. And I'll talk about how they got so spread out. But I'm coming close. Now, interestingly enough, I wanted to show you the development here. And this next little video snippet is the development. It looks like it's kind of, this first one, it's kind of erupting out of the skin, and then it kind of starts growing the little roots. And as you go along here, there's actually the vine is starting to grow out of these last 3 potatoes where I'm touching here, and it's I think it's fascinating. Okay, I've been fascinated by everything going on in the garden. These little vines are starting to shoot out, and this is why I have these sitting here, because I wanted to find out when these vines were going to go out. And next year, if I can find another air potato, I'm going to do something. I'm going to put one of these in soil and just as a litmus test, see when it comes out. And so, that being said, I actually did it. And let me tell you something. Now, these things have been developing. These little vine, the start, just barely the start. I mean, this thing is just over half, probably 5/8 of an inch long. They're not very long at all. And it is literally just started. But once it starts, apparently, it will go crazy. Because this thing here, and there's a leaf getting ready to come out there, a leaf there, a leaf there, a leaf up here. In fact, you can see in this close-up video what it looks like. There are some big roots coming out the bottom. They are searching for more soil because there is not much soil in this. And yes, I'm being mean to the air potatoes with starvation, with sealing them up in a Ziploc baggie and just giving them barely enough soil to survive. Now, this cup actually was just inside the edge of irrigation, which went off this morning. And what I want to do is I want to pull this out of here so we can see what the bottom looks like, or wherever. Oh, it feels like it's coming right there. We may have to cut this, but I want to show you what the bottom of this looks like. We'll end up having to break off these roots most likely. But I was really surprised how this thing jumped practically overnight. This thing was not here a few days ago. And I went out this morning, and I got it right by the front door. I had it in a video somewhere where I showed it, but I had this right by the front door, so I would see it every single time I walked out. And this morning, I walked out, happened to see this, 6-8 inch long vine popped out practically overnight. It shocked me. I was truly amazed. So I've reset the camera a little bit, and I've got my sisal twine shears here I use in the garden all the time. I'm just gonna cut this pot. I really wanna see as close to what these roots look like and how it's developing as possible. So I just want to, oh my, look at the roots, This thing is wrapped in roots. That is very interesting. It's about to fall out here. I'm gonna try not to let it fall out and cut these. Maybe I can save these roots. Let's see. Because I'd like to get an image of this whole root system if possible. Just for my reference. Remember, these videos are my own personal journal of everything going on in the garden. And these air potatoes are something that was a gift from the girlfriend of the previous owner of this property, who apparently didn't know what kind of a scourge they were, or maybe she did when she left and wasn't on good terms. I know the previous owner told me, he said, yeah, she said, you'll never forget me. And he says, oh, I haven't forgotten her. But there it is. That is really amazing, isn't it? Got the vine getting ready to go out here. These massive roots. Wow, that is just really impressive, I gotta say. But this is an ultra-invasive plant. You definitely don't want to let these things go. You can see why. Look at how massive these roots are, and then there's all kinds of new little fibers coming out, getting ready to make new roots. I am so happy I had this thing contained, because this thing would have gone. And we'll dig up some of these here over the next few months. I have zero doubt. They've been growing in this area, in our property and neighbors' properties, quite prolifically, and they're very hard. You can't just spray the green stuff on this, you have to get these roots out, these air potatoes out. Now, here's something about these air potatoes that, okay, I've found a little bit morbidly funny. Morbidly funny? I don't know if that's the right term or what. But yeah, these things are very dangerous. When we first got here, I didn't know much about air potato. And so I pulled a few out. We bought the place in October, which is when the potatoes themselves start growing. And it's called air potato because these things actually grow up in the air, up a tree as the vine grows. These things, and then they drop. And when they drop, hit the ground, they do this. They start growing the following year. And I didn't know about it. So as they were out there in our yard, the first winter, I actually mowed over a couple of them, meaning something this size kind of exploded into a million pieces all over that area of the yard. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be a whole potato. It can be just a piece that big of a potato. And it'll grow. Oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. I started digging up little cut off hunks from that mowing or that winter of mowing, where these potatoes had been spread out all over what is now the cathedral oak, where the arch trellises where the cantaloupe grow. All in that area, we had a ton of these things growing, and it was not funny at the time. And so I've gotten most of them out. You'll see me reference them in the garden tours, the outer bed garden tours. Fortunately, I've never had these in the front yard, and way fortunately, I've never had them in the raised beds. I'm down to just a few in the outer beds of the backyard. So I'm very excited about that. So anyway, air potato. That is hopefully a warning for you. Thank you for following along today. For those of you who have subscribed, as I've already said, you are my heroes. You've helped make Bowtie Life what it is today. We are trying to grow the channel to the next level. And when we get to that point, we will be able to do more. I know one of the things I'm hoping to get is a microphone. That's been a little bit of a trouble for me, but I work on getting the volume levels as equalized as I can. No one has ever complained about it. I appreciate your patience. So for those of you who are just finding this channel, this is my own personal journal of everything happening. I now know that this can happen about April 18th. So about tax time, I need to start watching out, because we have an area out here still that we keep an eye out. I have permission to go over and help my neighbor keep it out of his compost bin. And in fact, in the last raised bed garden tour, which just came out not too long ago, I looked over there at his compost pile. It's not a bin, it's just a random pile of cuttings, leaves, etc. But I showed that briefly, and I couldn't see anything at the time. Now I need to go over there and start looking, because right now that's the concentrated area. I think I may have one or two left in my garden, but I'm not sure. I've just decided I'm going to go ahead and put this into, I don't know what, I'm still studying the life cycle of these things. I want to know the thing is, this thing looks really plump and round. These things are starting to get craters in them, but it's still hard as a rock. And this thing's been in the soil, so it's still soaking up good moisture. These have not been in soil. These have not had moisture. These are starved. These are struggling. I know they would just take off if I put one of these in the ground. I'm not going to do that. I wonder if maybe, I don't know. I'm still trying to decide where I want to go with this experiment. I'm going to leave this out for just a little bit till I decide that. So, my own personal journal. I've tried logging. I've tried photographs. I've tried the little app on the phone. I've tried several things, and my unique ADHD brain, it's hard for me to just find something I would like to do and stay focused. I get distracted, I get discouraged. We're in year 3 now of these videos, which is really interesting. Most of the reason is because of these videos, because they keep my interest up. And sometimes in the morning when I'm getting ready, I'll play the videos on the TV, And they'll remind me of things that I need to do. And I'll go out and do a 30-second job, 5-minute job, whatever. I'll stop my morning routine, go do something, and come back in, and it kind of gets me through the day. I love being able to complete a task like that, and you start your day off, hey, I got something done, and it kind of encourages me to keep going. So be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life if you have not already. Bowtie Life on YouTube, so that you don't miss a thing that's happening as I over-document everything going on in the garden. Except when I planted the beans. We have beans coming up though, April 18th, we got beans coming up. That's a whole nother story. We will cover that completely in the Raised Garden Bed Tours. If it's just come out or if it's coming out afterwards, I have a feeling this may come out before. Another way you can really help the channel is by clicking the thumbs up on this video and sharing it on your social media. Also, comment below, have you ever dealt with air potato and whereabouts in the country you are? What kind of environment you live in? I think these are only going to be here in the south. I don't believe these survive up north, but I'd be interested to know if you are having any of those problems. This is just one invasive vine. There's a lot of invasive vines. Share it on your social media with friends who might be dealing with those invasive vines. Yeah, it's a challenge. Have a blessed day.